everybody. Everybody's going to be feeling good really quick with those vibrations. I'm Linda Harbour, the president of Friends of Music at Mason, and thank you. Thank you, Ed. I pay him. I'll pay you later. Thank you. I'm so happy to welcome folks here. This is the first time we've done something new and different like this, and we're very excited. This group, the Healing Arts Ensemble, was founded in 2007 by this gentleman, Dr. Glenn Smith, who's the Director of Music for Wellbeing. And he created it. What an incredible creation. And the newest director is Dr. Rita, almost Rita Gelati. Giuliani. Okay, you know, she tells me and I mispronounce, I'm bad, even though I love Italy, so I'm not good. She is pursuing her PhD in music education here at Mason and earned a graduate certificate in music for well-being last May. And she teaches some classes, heads up this ensemble now, and she is just a joy and had taught for 20 years in the public schools, choral teaching at South Lakes in Reston. And amazing, has done so many things that I can't even list them all. She's done so many incredible creative things for charity, for music, for making the world a better place. It's just amazing. So I think you are in for a great afternoon with these folks. I want to thank Amanda and Rachel for their help as well. And Dr. Munson, I thought, come in, hello. This is her group, and her tier, we're on her tier, so we have to, acknowledge it. And now I'm going to hand it over to Rita.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll use this just in case it's easier for especially the audio at home and for all of you to be able to hear. So thank you so much for being here this afternoon, almost evening. I really appreciate this opportunity given to us by Friends of Mason Music and Dr. Monson and of course Dr. Smith, who will be retiring in the next, he's probably on a countdown, 6 weeks, yeah. But he is really the reason why I'm here, the reason why we are all here. I found this in my journey, in my second part of my recovery from Cushing's disease. And so a couple of things just to sort of set the tone for this afternoon. I just want to delineate the difference between curing and healing. So while I was cured, very, very gratefully and blessed to be cured from a disease that was taking over my body, the healing part is what's the hard part, right? So we can all have a cure, but sometimes it's whatever we're going through in our lives to turn that corner to make it through those difficult days, especially if we are dealing with different things all the time. So the work that we're doing in the Music and Wellbeing program and the work I've learned through my certificate program really is about holding positive intention. So we titled today Good Vibes. And I just want to take a moment, and I will take a moment to talk about that. But I just wanted to say those few things to begin. This is about the healing process, and I think all of us at the very base level are still in some ways healing from our pandemic. So I think this is a really appropriate way for us to continue to come together. So this will be music through a slightly different lens than you may have experienced before. I'm now going to allow the ensemble to take a moment to introduce themselves because I think it's so important for you to continue meeting our wonderful students here at Mason. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna pass the microphone over to Bridget, and she will begin.
Hello, okay. Hi, I am Bridget. I am currently a Music for Wellbeing minor at George Mason. I am also a music education major. I'm currently doing my internship. I went from Carson Middle, and I'm currently at Colin Powell Elementary, and I'll be graduating in the spring.
Hello everyone, my name is Hao. I'm second year doctoral student in piano performance. Thank you for coming.
Hi everyone, my name is Ray. I'm a first year DMA student majoring in piano performance. Thank you.
Guess we're standing. All right. My name's Annie Welsh, and I am I'm getting my master's in education right now.
Hey, my name is Jake Wadley. I'm a senior in the music program, and this is my last semester, so I'm very ready to be done. But thank you all for coming.
Hi, my name is Yao Pang, first year in DMA program and major in piano performance. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yin Yang. I'm in the first year DMA program, piano performance major. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm a sophomore and majoring in music tech.
Good afternoon. My name is Evelyn Carrington, and I'm getting my master's in composition.
Thank you so much. And so the next slide that we have just kind of highlights what this ensemble is all about. And so it is the signature performing group for the university programs in music and well-being. It is the performance medium in which students apply the sound healing principles learned in the Music as a Healing Art class. And the group features a wide variety of musical instruments, exotic percussion, and pure quartz crystal singing bowls, all played with a focused healing intent. The music played creates an atmosphere to promote a mindful, contemplative experience, stress relief, and peace, love, and light. And to get us started, this piece is something you're going to hear, everything you're going to hear today is improvised. So outside of choosing texture, of colors of instruments that we might want to lean into, this is the art of conceptual composition. And that's what actually the second half of the semester I'll be working with these with our students here on learning that process, and they'll be putting their hand to the composing process. But to start off today and to set the tone, and the first thing we do in every ensemble meeting is we take a moment to really clear and center and kind of unwind our mind. Some of us refer to that as meditation, some of us refer to that as prayer, whatever suits you and fills your cup. At this time, I just invite you to close your eyes, and we're going to do a piece with Dr. Glenn Smith, who would love to play the happy drum, myself on piano, and Bridget Ruff, our student who is finishing up with her music and well-being minor here in the program. So our first piece, I chose to entitle it Into the Light. with us. I think you can feel the energy in the room shift a little bit. And sound is really the fastest way to unblock stress, unblock the body. And so we're going to talk about a little bit more about that in detail as we move through. And then there will be there'll be different points throughout where I'm going to invite you to also participate in this so that you can experience it for yourselves, because I think that's where the power lies. So thank you, Bridget and Dr. Smith, so much. I'll invite you to come back down into the ensemble. Going to move around, I think, a little bit, just so that I can see what's happening on the slides in addition to my notes. But I want to start, we always hear this phrase, good vibes, right? We see this, it's something you see a lot. What does it mean? So I just want to kind of touch on this. And again, I'm going to touch on these concepts in very short ways, just to kind of give you some ideas about how it all ties together. So the first question I ask is, how do vibrations and energy impact our well-being? And go ahead to the next slide. Because we're electromagnetic, think about MRIs, think about CT scans, think about EEGs, EKGs, all the things that we are doing essentially to help us with feeling better in some level happens through that field of electromagnetism. So that's the first thing I want you to think about. Go on to the next one. The next is a very, very brief understanding, because I find that some people, when I say about vibes, they don't understand that we have a biofield. So we have had one our whole lives. It actually extends about 8 feet from our body, and it is actually responsible for carrying a lot of different types of energy that relate to our body. So that's what we mean when we say good vibes, the vibes around us when we see people and we can get, or certain things, or we feel a certain vibe. That's why you feel it. That's where it comes from, and that's how it gets to our body. And no part of the energy system is really visible to the human eye, but we can feel it with our hands. And we often feel it through temperature. So if you have a fever, you feel that your body heat, you can feel the heat, right? Or maybe you have a newborn baby. When you know they can sense they're fevered, you can feel that. That's what we mean about vibes and vibration. We can go to the next one. So just so that you know, we have this biofield, and actually this biofield has been linked. I actually am a healing touch practitioner, or I'm in process of that. So I study a lot about the concept of energy as a form of medicine, which is where the healing often happens. And so some of us may have heard about things like our chakras. There are energy centers, but each one of them specifically maps to parts of our body. There's actually a lot of research going on in the world, I know specifically in UCLA, where they are now playing healthy organ vibration to unhealthy organ vibrations, and the organs are healing at rapid speed. So they're starting to be able to put these principles into effects into Western medicine. So this is part of where this comes from. Go to the next one. And so you have a visual. This is what it means to be inside of a person's like biofield. So right now we're all exchanging this energy together, whether we don't see it, but we can feel it. We can feel that room shift. And so that's an example of what that looks like. So some basic principles I want to sort of bring you into thinking about today. 1, breath. And these are basic principles of a healing arts ensemble and music and well-being. 1 is breath, 2 is awareness, 3 is intention, and 4 is the act of collective vibration. So we're going to start with a little bit of breath. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a moment to understand that breathing actually does all these things for our body. It heals, it clears, it energizes us, it engages our central nervous system, it centers us. So it calms us. It's a great way to sometimes just collect ourselves. So I'm going to invite you to sit up, because this is part 1 of also being able to really have an experience this afternoon with our music making. And I'm going to take you through a very simple box breath, and some of you may have done this before at some part of your life. It's a great tool. And all I'm going to ask you to do is breathe in with me, hold with me, and I'll count it out. Exhale with me, hold with me, and it starts again. And we'll just do a few rounds of this. I just want you to notice how you feel right now, and then I just want you to notice how that might change when you're finished. So here we go. Take a breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Release. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3. One more time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And just take note. Did you feel like you settled in a little differently into your chair? How might you be feeling right now? Take note of that. We can go to the next slide. The next one is the power of intention, and this is a really powerful. It's 5 minutes, but it's the most intriguing 5 minutes I think I have experienced in learning a lot of this work. So this is a short video, but this is about the power of our words and our thoughts. So I'll be connecting all these dots, but let's learn a little bit about Dr. Imoto Marsuro, and then we're going to be getting into our next song.
This next series of photographs are the work of Japanese researcher Mr. Masaru Emoto from his book, The Message from Water. Mr. Emoto's work provides factual evidence that human vibrational energy, thoughts, words, ideas, and music affect the molecular structure of water. Please remember that water comprises over 70% of a mature human body and covers the same amount on our planet. Water is the very source of all life. This photo shows the beautifully formed geometric design of the Yushi Spring water. This next photo is from the Shimanto River, the last clean spring in Japan. Notice the extraordinary geometric forms. The fact that the molecular structure of water can be affected by our consciousness, our intent, and our sounds is extremely important. This photo is from the Mount Cook Glacier in New Zealand. Mr. Emoto has been visually documenting these molecular changes in water by means of his photographic techniques. He freezes droplets of water, then examines them under a dark field microscope that has photographic capabilities. His work clearly demonstrates the diversity of the molecular structure of water and the effects of the environment upon the structure of the water. This photo is from the fountain in Lourdes, France. This photo is from contaminated water from the Yodo River in Japan. In this photo, we can compare the contaminated water with clean stream water. Look at the difference. Mr. Emoto decided to see what effects music would have upon the structure of water. He placed distilled water between two speakers for several hours while playing different music and then photographing the crystals that formed after the water was frozen. This photo is of water being exposed to Beethoven's Pastorale. This photo is the effect of Bach's Air for the G string on the water. This photo is water exposed to Chopin's Farewell Song. This next photo Is water being exposed and affected to music that was designed for healing? This photo is of water being exposed to the Kawachi folk dance. This photo shows the effect of heavy metal music upon the water. Here now we can compare the effects of healing versus heavy metal music and what happens to the water molecules. Mr. Emoto decided to see how thoughts and words affected the formation of untreated distilled water crystals by typing words onto paper and then taping this paper onto glass bottles overnight. This photo shows the effects of the words, "Thank you." This next photo shows the effects of the words, "love" and "appreciation." This photo shows the effects of the words, "You make me sick, I will kill you." And here we can compare the effects of "thank you" with the "you make me sick, I will kill you." Very, very different geometric forms being incurred through the intention. Now this photo is of a very polluted and toxic water from the Fujiwara Dam. Here now is the same water from the Fujiwara Dam after a Buddhist monk had offered a prayer over it. Prayer, that sound coupled with intention, seems to have an extraordinary ability of restoring water to its natural, harmonious, geometric symmetry. And in this photo we can compare the toxic water and then the effects of praying over the water.
Yes, that's it. Very powerful. When I first saw this, I was like, this is amazing, but also I understand a lot now. So when we talk about, we hear this all the time, we can go, yes, affirmations, mantra, prayer. When you say the power of prayer or the power of an affirmation, it's because we are able to receive this energy into our bodies because our bodies are 70% water. So think about that. 70% of our body is water, and everything around us is affecting every single part of it all the time. So filling our minds with things that are positive, that keep us on the right track, is really important to our overall state of well-being. So I gave you some mantras here, affirmations, but I invite you to take a look at these. So everything, let's say them together. Hopefully you can see, I'll guide you. The first one says, everything is working out for my highest good. The next one, it says, I am safe. Let's say that one together. I am safe. The next one, I express gratitude for all the good in my life. Each day brings wonderful new surprises. The next one is, I love every cell in my body. Let's say that one. I love every cell in my body. And the last one is, I let go of all negativity that rests in my body and mind. So in this moment, I just want you to take one of these or one of your own. Maybe it's something that you say to yourself that centers you, or you're going to take a moment to send love to someone just through your thoughts right now. And we're going to experience that aspect of this work with our drums. And if we go to the next slide, we get into the idea that the drums that we're using here, drumming in general, gives our brain the state of synchronization. Humans are the only people on the planet who can have that aspect of their brain to synchronize. So this is going to bring us together through rhythm and through intention. So think of something, maybe it's just I am safe or I am well, whatever short thing right now that you want to think to yourself as we do this next piece with our drums and percussion instruments in the ensemble. our next part is going to be inviting you to hum with us. There is something called the humming effect. I know, like, oh no, I have to participate. It's really actually quite brilliant, because if you hum, this is truly a practice that's researched and founded, and it's called the humming effect, and what it does in the brain is it sets your brain into the same place it would be if you were in meditation or in, let's say, that dreamy state that you often are before you wake up. That's the best place to be. That's where our healing happens. That's why rest is so important for our bodies to heal from anything, right? So if it sets that part of your brain, the neuroscience in the brain, to that place, and it really down regulates. This is great for relieving stress. Having had a disease that took my cortisol 6 times overboard, this is like still to this day a lifeline for me to keep things right where they need to be. I think we can all agree that we have had stress now, then, or again. So I invite you right now, we're going to take a breath in. We're going to do it 5 times, and it's really simple. There are no right or wrong notes. The beauty of this work is that there is never anything wrong, okay? So I encourage you to embrace that. So we'll take a breath in. So we'll take a breath in together. We'll demonstrate ensemble once. And then we're just do until your air runs out on any pitch that you want. Now, if we were in a choir, like maybe I'd make you sing notes. But today, any pitch you want works. Here we go. We're going to take a breath in. Good. We'll do that again. Breathe in. Good, and you might feel maybe some parts of your body are relaxing. That's good. Maybe you just realized you were tired. Also good. So this work kind of gets us set up for this next piece where we are going to create our collective vibration. So we talked about breath, we talked about intention, we talked about the power of our thoughts and our words. This was what you just did, was collective vibration, right? We were synchronized, we were breathing together. All the things that you hear an ensemble do is the art of all of this work. This can be applied to so many different facets, performance majors, performances, in the music realm, to healing in a state of trying to get better from something, to in our classrooms with our students, which is where I used a lot of my work with my high school students, and they loved it. And so we're gonna do some collective vibration. So I'm gonna introduce to you the crystal bowls. I believe we're gonna use some drums. So decide who would like to drum. Some bells, as in, we'll just do some drums, some happy drum, maybe Dr. Smith happy drum and someone else happy drum. And then we'll do some bowls. And the crystal bowls are very powerful because the crystalline in our bodies and the nuclei of our cells respond to these sounds, and it wakes all of those cells up in our body and activates them. So this is, again, the science behind why these instruments are so powerful. And I'm going to invite you to do 2 things. Set a positive intention for yourself right now, or maybe sending a positive intention to someone in your family or friends. Maybe you're sending love. Maybe you're going to send healing. We are all here going to send you the message of peace right now. So hold an intention that resonates with you. Perhaps use an affirmation. Feel free to sit tall, close your eyes if you wish, and hum. whenever you feel like it. And just try it. I know, it's like, oh, I don't know. Just try it and see how it feels for you. Because until you experience it, it's hard to really wrap your head around it. So maybe you felt some things change for you a little bit. Again, it brings us more in tune with our bodies. Paying attention to what our bodies are telling us is so important to learning how to take care of ourselves. And I will be the first to admit I didn't do it all that well for the first couple decades, but I've learned so much through my own healing journey. So now we're going to invite you to play some instruments. And we're going to also have some of the ensemble members join you in the audience, because I think having that experience a little closer up will give you a different feeling. You are welcome to use, and at home as well, you're welcome to use your humming tools as a way of participation. But we have lots of options here. So I believe that this gentleman here in the purple is our first, I've heard he's our first volunteer to join our ensemble today. Yes, is that correct, Manny? Perfect. So some of our students will be around to give you an instrument of your choice, and maybe a couple of you, if you want to take a bowl or an instrument out and sit in an empty chair that you can kind of spread from here, and then some of us will stay. So Perfect. We have some drums. We have our humming. Now we're also going to give you some bells because they're lovely. Would anyone like a bell? Oh, we can get you a bowl. We have a bowl over here. Yes. Anyone else for bowls, bells? Okay, bells are the least intimidating. Would you like a bell? I will bring some more. We need a couple more bells this direction. It's a popular one. Yes. Here you go. Anyone else? A bowl, a happy drum? Yes. Would you? So, are we good? Oh, we have lots of instruments. We brought all of our goodies out today. Yes. Sorry. Yes, perfect. Okay, we also have, for those of you who like to shake, we didn't get into this a whole lot. You want to shake. So would you like the small or the large? Anyone else wants to shake? Yes. Anyone else? All right. So, in this moment, first take a moment. If you have a bowl, I just want to quickly show you. Actually, who has a bowl? Yes, let's put a couple of ensemble members. Raise your hand if you have a bowl. If you could kind of guide the way, give them a little quick tutorial, the 2-second version. Anybody else who has a bowl? For here, so yes, would you go out and just show them how to use the bowl really quickly? And then some of you can move about. So we're about to create our own collective vibration, our own healing ensemble, okay? Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right, so there are some things to remember. First, everyone take a breath in with me and out, and one more breath in and out. Yeah, okay, bringing us back into center for a moment. So you will need to be aware and listening because this art of improvisation is about responding. So the biggest challenge we sometimes have as musicians or people who think all the time is when I say there's nothing to think about. I just want you to listen and be and respond. So in this process, as you create this collective energy, I really want you to listen to the people around you and what they're playing. And you don't have to play the whole time. You can insert yourself when you feel like it. This is about tapping into what you're feeling. We will have some drum to kind of set the groundwork for the synchronization piece. And then it will be up to you when you feel like participating. I do ask that you close your eyes, sit tall. If you don't have an instrument, you can just listen. If you're at home or you would like to use your voice, you're also welcome to hum. There are no wrong notes in this process. This is all about setting an intention. So let's make our intention right now just sending love to someone in some way. Here, up above, in the heavens, or right next to you. But let's just hold that intention together. That's going to be our intention for this next piece that we're going to create. in the room. And congratulations, you just improvised. You just made a collective form of vibration. You just really embodied truly the fundamental reason why we make music, right? Music's about what's here, and everything else is an extension of that. So this is the foundation, and this is what I really believe is also just the foundation for all music making in general, because look how much more beautifully we're connected. And that's what we aim to do. So thank you for this moment. This was really, really magical. I'm going to go on to you can rest your instruments wherever, and I'm going to go on to this little side here. If there are any reflections or questions, maybe things you noticed, maybe in the beginning you're like, oh boy, what did I come to? And now you're like, whoa, I want to get more. Maybe it's a question that you have, and I believe our online YouTube channel is being moderated, so if there's questions from anyone at home as well, I can hear them. But does anyone have any questions about anything you've experienced today, or anything that you want to just reflect on? Yes, over there in the blue. Can you tell me your name? Because I like to learn names. I'm a teacher like that. Thank you. And go ahead. Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's very powerful. Anyone else? Anyone else have a experience today? Something they've never maybe felt before, or something new? Something that might make you want to come back on May 3rd to our recital? Yes. Mr. Wiener, I believe. Yes? Yes. For sure, that's very true. It comes with practice. I think a lot of this, if it's the first time you've been to something like this, it takes practice. I certainly didn't understand it all right off the bat either. It took me a while. It takes practice, and it also takes kind of, as you practice, this allowance. It's really hard in some ways to start that journey. But the more you experience it, or the more you try it, the more you'll see in tiny. It's like taking your vitamins every day, honestly. It's that same kind of thing. Putting in small doses, and you'll start to see that shift. Anyone else? Questions? Anyone online? No, okay. Maybe they're all still chilled. Any other comments, questions? Yes. Yes. This is Stephanie Swift. I actually had the opportunity to talk with her, and we realized there were so many synchronicities in how we found each other, but she's a student who's interested in the Healing Arts Ensemble and in the Music and Wellbeing graduate program. So I invited her today. Turns out we last saw each other at Disney World when I had 100 kids singing in the candlelight processional, and she was working, and she was our tour guide, but I had no idea, neither did she. So when we talked to the call, she's like, we know each other, and here's how, and she showed me her candlelight processional. She's like, 2019, December 5th. I said, yeah. She's like, I was there, and so were you. I was like, yeah. So small world, right? But she's here today, so go ahead, Stephanie.
Just to piggyback off of your comment about, some people being stones and rocks. Our hearts have been beating since forever. And so even those people that might have like a wall up, there's still something in common that penetrates them in a way that we're not able to perceive. But I mean, all of us sitting here, our hearts are beating.
Yes, we're here. That's that synchronization for sure. Mm-hmm.
Our heart has the intention to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really powerful. It's very true. Yeah. Anything else? Yes. Go ahead. Hi. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I can give you the differentiation. So we are very fortunate to have this very unique program for music and well-being at Mason, because it is truly all about the homeopathic sense of music making. When you work with therapy, music therapy degrees are often psychology and music, so it's much more clinical and much more allopathic in nature, so there is that difference. Do they use rhythm and instruments as parts of their work? Yes. Do they use them necessarily the way we did just now? Maybe or maybe not, because it's much more specific and prescribed in correlation with whatever may be the outcome for that particular student or patient or person, where this is just that really open awareness allowance. It's very easy to step into this realm and just have a very warm experience or a changed experience with your body. Yes, that's exactly it. Yes, yes. Great question. Yes. Yes, sure. Yes. Yes, and that right there is, we talk about that in music and consciousness. We could do a whole separate hour on just that. But that is very true, and it's those biochemical reactions that we're having in our bodies, they snapshot all throughout our life. That's why we have that remembrance, and that's why certain songs evoke emotion, certain photos, certain things. Yes, all of that is related to this work very much. Yes, yes, Dr. Munson.
Feeling very well. So I said earlier in my introduction that this is my last semester. I'm a music technology student, and my main area of expertise is actually DJing. I've done numerous live shows with hundreds of people, and the first time that I did it, I was absolutely terrified, just completely terrified. And my best friend was the one who taught me how to do it, and he was there with me. We were performing on the same event. And this was right before I had actually started this program, or started in the Healing Arts Ensemble. And over the first semester that I was in this ensemble, I really started to understand how meditation worked, and how it really started to, or how it affected you after you had actually done it. And I found that if I meditated before a performance, pretty much every form of anxiety that I had for that performance was gone. With DJing specifically, there's a very it's very technical based. It's not as simple as plugging or pressing a button and music comes out. No, there's a lot of different elements at play, and the biggest thing that you worry about on stage is doing something that makes the crowd go, "What? Why? What's going on?" The idea of a DJ is to have a seamless event and have them have a good time without it being questioned. And for me, meditating just completely helped keep that consistent for me. I mean, you know, I'm human, of course, and you know, mistakes happen on stage. That's just gonna happen. But one thing that I am also a big, I I don't want to say I preach, but one thing that I do tell people when it comes to that kind of thing is mistakes are how you grow too. So I take that aspect and I hold on to it completely. I believe in that wholeheartedly. You know, I can't grow if I don't know how to fix what I've done wrong. And if I can't sit still and calm while I'm trying to do that, it's just going to make things worse. So.
Hi again. So I can say a couple of things about the performance anxiety and how this program has really assisted me with overcoming it. Freshman year, I was the lucky year where my fall semester was in person, and then we were forced to Zoom university. So I have a very vivid memory of freshman year being in my flute studio and having to perform a Telemon work and being the biggest ball of nerves in the world, like shaking and doing everything in the world and speeding up so much and just, you know, having such bad performance anxiety. And then after doing this program, I had my senior recital, which is a really big part of your music degree. And I had mine last fall, and I literally, like, even my teacher, I told her to wait. I blocked out I blocked out the 10 minutes before I went on stage to be by myself and meditate. Whether that was practicing with the drone going or whatever I did that day, I don't remember. But I know that when I went out there, I had zero nerves. And that's saying something because my first piece was from memory by myself. You know, so to go from playing from 12 people to doing that by myself with no one else around there was pretty cool after doing this. And to top off of, this is kind of like a side point, but I'm currently doing my internship, right? And the kids right now are all gung-ho spring fever, galore, right? Crazy. Today, I pulled out a kalimba, and if you don't know what that is, it's like a thumb piano. And I did a kind of meditative thing. I started playing a really like cute song on it, and all like total change with the kids' energy. They were crazy and hectic, and they totally calmed down, and they sat down with no problem. So even like outside of performance anxiety, it's just really good at centering people in general.
You might want to have some parenting sessions. You have children, right?
Absolutely, I can definitely handle that. From all my years in education at that level. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah, I also, oh, yes. Hi. That's okay. Yeah, so good to mention that, because as you work through using different frequencies and instruments, sometimes certain sounds will be like, oh, I can feel that, make that stop. And that's usually an indication that our body actually needs it a little more than we want it to understand it. And so when we talked about the biofield earlier, that's where this vibration is balancing our biofield, kind of putting it back into alignment. And the crystal bowls, for example, are igniting our cellular response all through our bodies, getting them to reactivate. So some of those cells that protect us from illness get a little wake up. So there's the program and the certificate, whether you do undergrad or graduate's a little more in depth, but we talk about the neuroscience, the biology, how this all works together. It's such a powerful phenomenon, honestly. Yes.
I thought I heard that so many of you are studying piano.
Ah, yes.
Wondering about that correlation.
Yes. Would any one of you like to say something about how maybe you started to apply or how this work is helping you, our piano majors?
So I'm piano performance major. When I starting to do the meditation, it really helped my memory first. Basically, my memory gets better when I just get off everything and keep focus on my pieces. It's really helpful. Like before I go to the stage, I can also let me calm down and relax, close my eyes and think of the keyboard and the lights, everything on the stage. It really helpful. Thanks. That's all.
I also want to plug Dr. Monson because I don't know if you know, but she did a TED Talk several years ago on music performance anxiety, and I can send you all the link. It's definitely worth listening to, but it definitely speaks to what you're hearing here. And this is all science. This is all brain science, neuroscience, biology, and body science, but it's the vehicle. This is the carrier wave, if you will, the way we get to connect to that part of ourselves, which is often very hard to find, right? So I want to wrap it up because I know we all have to also. I haven't told them this, that the fun and joy of we're going to take our instruments back to the School of Music, but we will. But if we can go to the next slide, Amanda, thank you so much. I just want to do some quick thank yous for today. First to Dr. Monson, Dr. Smith, our founder, and what a wonderful afternoon celebrating what you have created and put together. You can't applaud for yourself. Right? Linda, and all of you as friends of music and anyone else there at home or that you invited today, thank you for being here and kind of going on this journey with us and opening your mind to some new things. Amanda Snellings, who's behind the scenes, literally. Rachel, who also has been and putting all this, we've been meeting about this since November, I think, and getting all of this organized. Center for the Arts staff have been amazing. Caroline, Mara, DJ, Carrie, Alexandria, and Wilbur. Bridget and Ellen. Bridget single-handedly with two of us and myself, two other students yesterday, and Bridget got all the instruments over here. And these two ladies are amazing in the School of Music, Bridget and Ellen. And then, of course, Lauren for making sure all those social pushes get out on the marketing and just really helping to make sure things get facilitated throughout the School of Music. So thank you all so very much. And thank you also very much, students, for being here and staying today a little longer.
Also from FOM have a special recognition thank you for Dr. Smith, who thought of this brilliant idea. Look how creative this is, and also for you, Rita, for all you've done. Thank you. You guys are fabulous.
Thank you so, so much. If you want information about how to learn more and where we'll be next, we have University Wellness Week. There's a labyrinth that's been created outside Harris Theater, so we're hoping to be there for that experience. And then again, our spring recital, which will next you'll hear compositions from these lovely students, May 3rd, and that'll either be outside in the labyrinth, a little out of the box this time, or weather permitting, and if not, in the choral room where we usually meet. And I'm sure that we'll send you some more information. But if you would like to learn anything else, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me, you can just Google my name and find me, or you can find me literally, or you can find me through the School of Music or through Linda or through Dr. Monson. So I, again, appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much. And I send you love and peace for a wonderful rest of your week. So thank you.